Hey Pisces, and welcome to your monthly tarot reading. This is for the month of June 2023 for Pisces sun or rising signs. So we're going to take a look at the theme that is coming up overall for the month, and then how the month progresses, challenge, spiritual advice. So these tend to be more cards and longer than my bi-weekly-ish readings that I do that are from full moon to new moon or new moon to full moon. Interesting that we have that showing up. I know that I've been incorporating astrology into my videos more recently and putting timestamps, and that's made them longer than usual. I'm doing a separate video for the astrology of June, like the first half of June. Hopefully I'm gonna have that out by the first day or two of June. I was traveling at the end of May and just did not have, like, I've been playing catch up and needed to record these. So I just haven't had time to really go over the astrology as much as I would like to kind of pull out the highlights that I want to highlight. So that will be out. So you can count on that being out within the first day or two. I'm really hoping to have it out on June 1st. So, and then we have the full moon like within the first 3 days of June. So these videos will be out for the month. The astrology will be out for half of the month during the first day or two of June. And then I will also have the bi-weekly readings for each of the signs that will be coming out. So lots of stuff. If you haven't subscribed already or hit the notification bell, maybe consider doing that so that you can be aware of when these videos drop. Okay, so all right, so we have the progression of the month showing up. I'm like, is my camera crooked or are my cards crooked? I think it's my camera. I'm going to just shift this ever so slightly. There we go. Okay. And then let's take a look at what kinds of challenges or a challenge would be coming up for this month. That came out pretty quickly and easily. And then we're going to also see what kind of spiritual advice we've got for my Pisces. So interesting because I was feeling this card, but then we have that card. So let's go with both. Let's just go with both. Actually, that one came out first, so let's go with both. Oh, look at how much coins we've got going on there. Coins, cups, coins, coins, coins. All right, so that's what's up for you guys. Okay, so let's start with how we're going to focus this particular reading. We've been pulling from the astrological deck that I have to kind of like help focus this as a collective reading so that we know like what areas or what themes of life this is really being directed towards. So what we have starting out here is Pluto, right? And we just had all kinds of stuff with Pluto this last month. I don't know if you saw the astrological stuff that I put out for last month, but yeah, so much going on with Pluto. And we've got some stuff happening. Like we already knew it was stationing to go retrograde, and we knew that it was going to go from, Aquarius back into Capricorn. I will talk about that in the video that I'll be putting out. About the first half of the month's astrology. So just know that that'll be coming up, but Pluto will be on deck again. Like there will be Pluto themes coming up again for the month of June. So I'm not totally surprised. I think watch the video that comes out if you're curious about like what that could be like or what might be coming up. So Pluto has to do with, yes, rebirth, but I would say more accurately, probably transformation is how I would put the Pluto card, right? Transformation, and transformation isn't always comfortable, right? We have to go down into like the deep depths and like sometimes have a dark night of the soul or address certain fears or shadows or the things that we instinctually want to pull away from and face those things in order to shift them and to come out on the other side. Usually Pluto's challenges, if there are challenges, right, that you experience with Pluto, the challenges that come through with Pluto are there to help you move through those themes so that when you come out on the other side of it, you're more in touch with your personal power than you might have been before, right? When you think of Pluto, think power, right? Think about like how your personal power, the ways in which we give away our power, the ways in which we have our power taken from us as well. Like these are themes that can come up throughout our life or definitely in early life. So yeah, so Pluto has to do with power, can have to do with power struggles depending on what's going on in your chart, with transformation, with like those deep kinds of themes, with shadow, with things like that. So Pluto can get a bad rap, but you know, Pluto, again, it can have to do with like, it all comes from a place of wanting to put us more in touch with our own power. So in the beginning of the month, we have the 2 of Coins, middle of the month, we have the Knight of Cups, and then we have the 7 of Cups. So I find the 7 of Cups such a Piscean card, if I'm being really honest. So the 2 of Coins at the beginning of the month, I feel like there is this kind of weighing out of options, right? Like the coins are also the pentacles in other decks, right? So this is an earth suit, and that can have to do with opportunities. So it can have to do with like having more than one opportunity and trying to figure out like which one you want. Now that could be people as opportunities, that could be job as opportunities, it could be where you live, right? It's like which path, right? Like which choice, which path, which opportunity, which person, which whatever that you're trying to decide between. And also there is this element of like balancing that, finding a sense of like grounding and stability with that, right? When we're balancing, we're trying to find our point of center, a grounded spot within ourselves, right? And often this can be about like, how do I balance these different aspects of who I am or who I am in these different worlds, right? Like work-life balance is a really easy example of that. Like, who am I with my work life and who am I with my personal life? And like, how do I balance these different parts of my life or these parts of myself in these different areas of life, right? So I hope that feels really clear. We come into the middle of the month and we have the Knight of Cups, right? And the Knight of Cups is definitely like moving towards well, let's say this first. Let me back up and say this. All of the nights are about action. It's just that depending on the element, right? And this happens to be the water element, they all take action in different ways. So all of the nights are about action and moving forward, but they all do it in a different way. The Knight of Cups takes action and moves towards what he really wants and desires, right? So it's just like allowing what feels good and what you want to be a guiding light into like as to how you take action or where you move yourself towards, like where you move your energy towards. Now obviously there are shadowy ways of doing that where people become self-centered or delusional and they just like go into like any direction, like, well, this feels good right now and this feels good over here, and that's not really grounded. So that's not what we're talking about. I feel like this is building off of this energy from the beginning of the month, and that you're coming into this place of like wanting to like having maybe like trying to figure this out, trying to balance this, trying to like, you know, decide between or to balance these paths. But then part of the decision-making process or part of the movement forward is feeling into like what would truly feel good to my life, like what would feel good to my emotional health, for my spiritual well-being, for my sanity, right? And like moving towards those things. I'm careful to say like, you know, just moving in a direction towards like what feels good, because like I said, that can be really ungrounded in some ways, you know? So, I mean, who knows? Like some people, that's a lesson they got to learn, right? And then towards the end of the month, like the last third of the month, we have the 7 of Cups, right? And I think you just got to watch yourself to make sure that you don't fall into a state of like delusion, illusion, confusion, all the oozins. I didn't intend for that to come out that way, but it did. So, you know, this is where you want to be really clear about what you're moving towards, right? And again, like this is like moving forward, yes, towards what you desire, what you want, what feels good, but not in such an ungrounded way where you become confused and lost in delusion and fantasy, right? Like that's the thing about the 7 of Cups is like you have so many different like cups in front of you to choose from, and normally what you see depicted is a person looking at all of these different cups trying to choose. The thing is that you can't stay in choice land too long, and you need to choose like a cup and make a decision to go towards that. You know, you can't just like stay in fantasy land forever. But also if you stay there too long in that space of like in between, you can get like really confused. It can become like really muddy waters, right? like really unclear, and confusion can set in, and like you can become delusional, and because you don't have clear sight, and because you're not grounded or anchored to anything, and the water isn't clear, you can just be like, I don't know which way is up, and just kind of be stalled in life, right? So you want to be really careful about that. I feel like that is a message that's coming through. Like clearly there's something that needs to be like transformed, and there's in choice, I believe there is something to do with your personal power in having choice, and in utilizing and taking action and making a choice. So I feel like there is that. And maybe I think part of the challenge with that's coming up because of the 7 of coins is not really, like normally I would say not really having patience with the process, and maybe trying to like go at something too quickly and too soon. Like, oh, maybe it's this cup, and like, oh, I'll go in this direction because this feels good. Like, again, the ungrounded stuff. And so it's like not really having the patience to make a more grounded decision. But also what's coming through for me with the 7 of coins here is like the 7 of coins normally is like, you can see this person has really put time and energy and attention and like into tending to their garden, into like watering it and tilling the soil and weeding it and watching it grow through the seasons, and like making sure that they pay attention to it, right? And like they start to see the fruits of their labor through this process that takes time. When you think about the earth suit, you want to think about how that groundedness can come through, and the clarity that comes with groundedness can come through things really taking time, the process taking time to unfold. And I think that maybe either you haven't really put in that time and you're wanting things to materialize more quickly because but there just isn't enough grounded like structure and foundation that's been put into it, not enough time yet, and maybe even having some impatience with the process, right? Like you can't just like, or you can do whatever you want, but like but there is something to be said for the erratic kind of action taking that is really ungrounded and untethered, and how that can just muddy things up and make it more confusing. So I think that's something to definitely pay attention to. And look at all like the earth that you have coming through for your spiritual advice, right? So we have the Page of Coins, and also the Ace. Oh, this is Cups. Sorry, that's Cups. Still, I really like the Ace of Cups too. That's even better actually. So we have the Page of Coins, right? And the Page of Coins is just like, be in a state of curiosity when exploring the opportunities that you have, right? Like the solution is right there at your fingertips, and it might involve learning a bit more. So if this has to do with like a path that you're choosing in terms of like career or whatever, it might involve like more research, more learning, more study, maybe another program, I don't know. But also just knowing that like with curiosity and with taking grounded action towards your curiosities, and like exploring and studying and like learning about what it is that you want to be making, like maybe in order to make this choice, for instance, like you're trying to like figure out the opportunities and moving towards what you like, but you don't know which cup to pick or like whatever it is. Well, maybe the way that you can have clarity with that is actually like taking the time to learn a little bit more about each of these cups, right? Each of these opportunities that you have available to you, because the solution is like right there at your fingertips, but it just involves some of this kind of energy here. And then with that, you have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, the reason I said I like that even more is because the Ace of Cups is definitely like, have faith, have hope. Like you can have hope and faith. If it feels confusing right now, if it feels like intense because you just like feel like you need to have it figured out right now, and maybe you're not feeling like you have the patience, or like, you're frustrated or disappointed that it's going to take more time to invest in growing and building what it is that you want to like see materialized right now, have hope, have faith, like know that you're like, what, again, like whoever you believe, like your guides, spirit, deities, whatever, the message coming through for you is like, have hope, have faith, like you like allow yourself to have that. You're gonna make it through to the other side of this. The transformation that you're going to go through might feel a little uncomfortable, but again, like Pluto serves to like put you in touch with your power, right? And that's what it's about. So I hope that this feels clear and helpful. Like it feels like the energy just like, I can feel it. It feels like like unclear water, you know, like cloudy water, right? And but it's like it will get more clear, and I see some grounded ways for you to come into that, and it looks like a transformational process that maybe you want it to move more quickly than it is currently. But yeah, I hope that this feels helpful or insightful, and if it has, please consider giving the video a like, and if you haven't already subscribed or hit the notification bell, consider doing that too, please, because it helps me build the channel. But also, so you don't miss any of the videos that I was talking about, like the astrology stuff. I'm going to be putting out more and more of that, but the astrology video that's coming out for the first half of June, so you can mark your calendars and like know what's up for the month, right? And then also for the full to new moon readings that'll be coming out as well. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.